And then you woke me up from my beauty sleep, because that's what you cats are very well known for. For waking up your owners when you're trying to have that bit of beauty sleep. But no, they've got to remind you that they want breakfast in some way, shape or form. Well, I haven't done one of these for once in a while, but I am glad to be back and have recovered from the horrific monstrosity that loams around us. Hello everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed and welcome to In the Shade of Lilies. From the moment we are born, we are instilled with certain ideas regarding the limits of realism and fantasy. But what is the exact difference between this? Is there even one? And more importantly, do you still think you can tell the real from the unreal? I think that is down to each and every person's perception, because our ideas of what we believe to be true and not can always be different regarding things, one another. That's what makes us different individuals. You'll be able to find a link down in the description below where you'll be able to see where one can find this game. New game. So this is made for a pixel jam of sorts, if I remember correctly. Hello. I would be with you. I would without. Singing to the bushes. As the quiet lilies shout. Is this a visual novel, an RPG Maker game? I'm kidding. I would be planted. I would to grow. Or even lay to rot. That's no good. We plant to grow and flourish, not to rot. And never ever know. I would be with you. I am and always will. Though sleepy day or wakeful night. Here on my lilied hill, it's a hill filled with lily flowers. Although that would be a nice thing to say the least. A woman in a lovely blue dress announces as she leans down, arms outstretched. And here we are. And here, my baby Simba. It's like one of those Lion King references where they hold up the line or something like that. My baby Simba. I don't know how it goes actually. Here's my cat. He's a cute cat. Hello cat. What's this on the top right? Ah, that's how we go about these things. It's the menu. Exclaimed Simone. She had never been fond of the nicknames, but what was worse was the inevitable. Simone. Let's see. I was trying to sleep, you know, and then you woke me up from my beauty sleep, because that's what you cats are very well known for. For waking up your owners when you're trying to have that bit of beauty sleep. But no, they've got to remind you that they want breakfast in some way, shape or form. Sometimes life is like those hanging baskets on a tree. Sometimes you don't know when the tree is about to snap, but one day it might snap, due to the amount of weight put on it. But you were so cute. This is where the different endings might come into play. Is this an RPG Maker game or a visual novel? I'll treat it as an RPG Maker game because that's what the tags say. And the tags never lie. Question mark. Yep, RPG Maker. MV, because it gives you that warning sometimes, but you're playing on like a profile which you're too modern for. But you were so cute, and I need you to help me find the others. Wait, there are others? I thought there was only one cat that exists in this universe, and it doesn't age at all, it lives for eternity. Do you see anyone out there? Yes, birds. Wait, this cat can talk? I was not told about this. I want a refund. I'm kidding. I could not possibly want a refund on a game that I'm enjoying so far. Silvia looks for the birds mentioned by Simone. Birds? There aren't any birds. Did you kill all of them, Simone? It's weird saying Simone because my brother has an other half called Simona. When she looks back down at her hand, she realizes that Simon, has disappeared. Simone has disappeared. Hello. Are you a porcelain doll cat? Meow. How'd you get over the... Well, another thing that cats are very fond of doing is breaking stuff. Bam! Why, cat? Why? That was my favourite plant pot as well. And it had my favourite flowers in it. You ever been watered? Why not? Said Silvia with a gasp, quickly running over to get the watering can. Silvia began singing an old gardening song with a distant, breathless voice. There are thirsty flowers dying for love, for all that lovely, nutritious, delicious water. Even though we as species, we cannot taste water, the sprinkle of water begins to sound on the dry soil. And yet cats can. There are thirsty flowers drowning in mud. Drowning in that icky substance, the stream grows louder and pitters and spits. There are thirsty flowers who need a cool drink, or just a drink in general. The gurgle of water plunges into water. Water plunges into water nearly overpowers a half-hearted tune. It's like one of those science experiments where you have two different layers of something, and they both never kind of intermingle with one another. It's like one of those. Here's water 1, here's water 2. They never cross with one another, but the question is, can you tell apart something that looks exactly the same? There are thirsty flowers, sorry. You mean they are? There is silence. Now that makes sense. Simo? Her name is eventually going to be nothing. Sim? Sai? S? Nah. There were lily petals everywhere. Stems, flowers. Had the garden not been behind her just a moment ago? And Simone? Her question was asked in a vain hope that some sort of explanation would materialize, yet none came for a long moment. Call Simone. Okay. Simone, where are you? She asked again more desperately, and from under the flowers a collar seems to glimmer. Her collar! Reaching out to touch it, but as her fingers touched the tag, the world rushed out from under her, and suddenly everything changed. Why is this a horror game? The table, the ground, everything was different for a brief moment. With that, she startled and released the collar, allowing it to fall back to the table and disappear in the pile of mangled lilies. And there's Simone's cry again. The cry emerging from behind Silvia, and as she turned, she found herself in a field of lilies. This is a lily hill. And beautiful visuals. What is this place? Very haunted-esque because it's only black and white, but very good nonetheless. It reminds me of... oh goodness sakes, it's a horror visual novel set in Russia, and it's like winter time. I've forgotten what it's called now. I played like the first chapter of it when it was free. I've forgotten the name of it, but it's kind of like that sort of thing. It's beautiful, but it's also terrifying in its own way. Whispered Silvia. Meow again from the cat. Where have you gone? You haven't gone all the way down here, have you? The quiet sound seemed to radiate from the ground all around her. Her feet began to sink into the muddy earth, almost being pulled in. Oh my gosh, it's like quicksand. That's no good. Ah! Silvia exclaims. She bends over to pull her feet free from the sinking mud. But no. To her shock, there was a glimmering from the mud. Toys, feathers, collars, so much of it. And all of it was Simone's. She sank into the mud. Simone, I'm sorry. Come back. Please. Her frantic words came out in wet, tear-filled sobs as she tries to push the mud away. Simone! Damn, poor cat. She sank deeper, now waist-deep in the mud and surrounded by the haunted mementos and the suffocation they carried with them. Why? did you have to eat them? Why did you have to die? And with those words, Silvia burst into deep tears. A series of heartbreaking thoughts ran through Silvia's mind as she sank deeper and deeper into the mud. What was the point of it all? Simone was her partner, her support, her friend. Without a real reason to go on, nothing would be worth it. Damn. Maybe I should just please don't do that. We all go through these kind of heartbreaking moments in life, losing loved ones, but you cannot give in to the darkness, and in this case you cannot give in to the mud. You cannot sink into the mud. You can't allow yourself to be drowned and consumed by those thoughts. If you do, then your individuality altogether goes away. It's like when I was playing with Lolo's World of Wonders in that game. It was such an important kind of experience to witness, because it's something that I feel like for at least a lot of us go through at least in one portion of our life where we feel that kind of way. We feel like there's nothing left for us to go on for. There's nothing that is supporting us. There's nothing that wants us to be here, essentially. But at the same time, it's like you shouldn't make people stay because you want them to stay. It's something that should be their choice ultimately, but you should be there as a helping hand rather than an anchor. And go with Simone forever. Take a deep breath. What am I doing? No, this isn't right. My God, I need to get out of this place before I sink into the mud. Silvia digs her nails into the mud and drags herself with effort until she completely comes out of the mud. And we're now all muddy. Simone, I'd give anything to see you one more time. Just one more time. Not like having the sun rise again and seeing Simone's face in front of you or anything like that. Just one more time. Damn. Silvia slowly closed her eyes. All of that was fake, right? No, you pinch your cheeks. Me talking to Simone. Was everything just a dream? I wish it weren't. What? We hear Simone again? Suddenly she hears a sound that seems strangely familiar. Quickly she opens her eyes to find out a beautiful surprise. Ah, so it was a dream. So in some ways you can be sunk into your own kind of dreams if you consume yourself too much into it. Kind of like with Dreaming Mary. If you sink yourself too deeply into a dream, you'll be stuck in there. Simone! No, you can't be here. You cannot. How comes? Silvia, I'm glad you're fine. Simone, I felt so sad that you were about to surrender because of me. I had a very happy life by your side. We shared beautiful moments with each other. No matter what happens, I will always be by your side. And the moments we live will always be there. Exactly. It doesn't matter where you are, as long as those memories are with you, then those memories will always be cherishable. You don't need to be tied to that location in order to witness those memories again and again, because they're always there. Here, in your heart. Don't rely on me to analyze a human body to see where body parts are. So please don't continue suffering because I'm not by your side anymore. Or maybe, yeah, okay, maybe this wasn't a dream. Would you do it for me? Ah, Simone, I guess you're right. And I promise I will go on for you. And that is a conclusion of sorts. Silvia tried to bring her hand closer to Simone, but as soon as her fingers brushed against its fur, she slowly disintegrated, forming a cloud of particles in the air that gradually vanished with the gust of wind. I love you so much, Simone. I love you. Damn. Always in one's heart. Loved ones. Original work in the Shades of Lilies. Team Insania. That was a lovely tale, that was. A very, well, not very dark tale, but by the end it was very dark with the mud and all that. But that was really well written. But aside some of the grammar errors, it's really well written, this little tale. I found I enjoy these little tales because they have a world of their own and they don't need a huge amount of dialogue and text and this and that in order to explore. And there's something wonderful to that. A minimal amount of story, but with that, there's still a lot of magic involved. And I think that's the beauty of these kind of games, is that you don't need to jam-pack it with puzzles and lots of text like a 10-hour visual novel does. There's something lovely about a small tale. The choice that matters the most for either outcome. Take a deep breath or surrender. Simone. The last words, she sunk fully into the mud and all went black. Damn. Oh, we're back for some odd reason? Or her breathing shallow and faded. The image of the garden reappears before her. The lilies stand tall on their hill, but some earth is disturbed just beneath them. Looking down at her hand, Silvia sees her hands covered in mud, but clutching Simone's collar in one of them. In the other, a small gardening spade that glimmers like a knife. Another... Set me up. Ah, okay. Oh gosh. It's like the garden's come to life. Yep. Oh. I wonder if that bean is like the mud. It's like the psychological enemy that took away her best friend. Their best friend. Damn. I wonder how we got back here from sinking in the mud. And there's no more of us. I would be with you. I would without. Singing to the bushes, as the quiet lilies shout. I would be planted. I would to grow, or even lie to rot, and never ever know. I would be with you. I am and always will. Though sleepy day or wakeful night. Okay, this part's different. Here on my lilied hill. Maybe it was the same, I just didn't notice. So that, folks, is In the Shade of Lilies. Thank you all so much for watching, and at the time of this recording, I've just recovered from COVID from late January to early February, and thank you all to everybody who left kind comments whenever I made a post on YouTube. It's just really heart-touching to see a lot of you here and there. But also about this game, I really like this little tale, as I mentioned within the first ending that we encountered. I think it's like a great little tale to just read and have our own conclusions at the end of the day. But I really like this. I like the limited colours, so it's just black and white. It gives it like a very like old-fashioned kind of scope, which I think really helps when it comes to horror, because having lots of bright, beautiful colours in a horror game doesn't really make it feel horror-esque. But when there's just limited colours, when we're all kind of saturated, then it's really nice to see. Thank you so much for watching. This has been In the Shade of Lilies. Thank you to everybody who have left a kind comment throughout the past few weeks or something like that when it came to, you know, this COVID situation. And we shall see each other's in the next video, wherever it may be. Who knows what awaits in the future. Thank you so much for watching and take care of yourselves.